Who have brought up KL Rahul strike
अबे
rate?
यार तू strike rate मत ला यहाँ पे.
He has a reputation of batting too slowly and not being a
Oh my
T20
God.
match winner.
Oh.
He's not even
Irrespective
in
of-
India's. He's not even
Bhai.
in India's T20 like plan.
The council has been summoned again, and the agenda of the RGC, the Retention Governing Council, or the Retention Chatter Governing Council, RCGC. The name is still a work in progress. But what we are here to do, Justin Silgado, Nagaraj Golapudi, Aditya Iyer, and myself, it's essentially to give you some informed gossip, right? I can't think of a more perfect,
Sophisticated.
yet irresponsible way of everything to tell you that we're here to just have some fun. But this isn't coming out of nowhere. This is coming with some years of experience. And the question that we have on the agenda today is KL Rahul, a very interesting file, a file that has many pages and chapters in its IPL history. And we want to know if KL Rahul is going to enter the auction. Will he? Won't he? That's the question to my great colleagues over here.
If I have to go with that, you remember Ketu, our producer, he has said that put on a scale of this. If I have to actually start with that instead of end with that, I would say 5.
Like
It's
there is a 50% chance here
there's
that
actually
KL
like this.
will go
Yeah,
into
this
the
is
auction.
one. Yeah. I mean, and this is not even like a gossip. This is actually like happening. He is having second thoughts himself,
Why?
not just the
think?
franchise.
Why do you
Huh?
think? Why do you think it's not
I
all
mean,
happy?
I guess I think a bit of what happened last season when the owner kind
Very
of publicly,
public.
yeah, it was like that kind of never left away and it never washed away.
Mm.
Whatever the intentions of the owner might be, and the owner did come up, Mr. Goenka came
Yeah,
out
he
and
had
said
dinner
that.
just a couple of days later at his house, and I was convinced that was that everything was
What
fine.
was served at that dinner, Rona?
Something spicy.
Something that hasn't been digested till now, till the retention deadline approaches. But yeah, no, in all
Yeah.
seriousness, I'm gonna if this is what we're hearing, and I've heard something similar as well from people like you only. I don't have my own sources. That KL Rahul was hurt at the end of what happened. They made the playoffs in 2 out of 3 seasons.
First two.
And if you take that incident out, I can't see any reason why KL Rahul, especially ahead of a big auction.
I can see one reason why LSG might want to let go of him just for cricketing reasons.
What is that?
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, if you look at stats, last 5 years IPL, all the openers who've played 20 plus innings, KL Rahul's strike rate is 7th from bottom out of 24.
Who have brought up KL Rahul strike
अबे
rate?
यार तू strike rate मत ला यहाँ पे.
but he has a reputation of batting too slowly and not being a
Oh my
T20
God.
match winner.
Oh.
He's not even in
Irrespective
India's T20 like plans. He's not even near.
You don't
the
give
squad.
facts. We are
Irrespective
talking
of the
gossip.
format,
Don't
you
give
never talk about Rahul's strike rate.
So
No.
why will you pay him 18 crores?
My God. Oh,
Why?
but
Look, you do need a top India name. They have which is the top India name in the current last year's lot they have
Yeah, I think
outside
we
of
need one.
KL.
Nikhil
Everyone-
Pooran is now
No, India-
appealing to the
hi,
Indian
it's-
fans.
No,
I think the next
franchise.
Nikhil
Franchise,
we
Pooran
don't
has
look-
global appeal.
Hey, order over here. Wait,
Yeah.
you know what? Are you telling me, Dustin, that you think that the relationship has soured because they've come, Justin Langer and possibly Zair Khan, who has now joined LSG, of course, have decided that no, he plays too slowly. So we
Yes.
let him go.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I
saying-
leave it there. But I like your thinking because it's been a criticism.
The same chatter, the chatter I've heard or the gossip I've heard is obviously there are disagreements over the amount of money that he's going to get. There is one amount of disagreement, and I think even last year it was pretty evident. I don't think the Langer Rahul dynamic was ever worked or is ever going to work. I don't think they're.
Why
I
is it never going to work? Why do you
No, as in, because
doubt?
Rahul is not the kind of captain of Langer the coach would need, and vice versa.
Okay.
So, and my guess is,
So
I think-
normally when it's between high-profile Indian player and Australian coach, normally the Australian coach pays the price. Just yeah.
yeah,
I feel that it's more than that. What their franchise definitely was Rahul, but Rahul wants, I guess, it's also money for sure. But more importantly, I think they want Rahul to be the match winner, really. without the captaincy. They clearly are not impressed with his style of captaincy. They
Yeah.
believe that they can find a better captain. And I feel I might be completely wrong. I think Pooran will be retained, and I guess the captaincy could
captain.
be, yeah, and Pooran becomes the captain unless they really
So
find someone like.
I can digest this angle a little more, that they've decided that their best player and their best chance for captain, as it turns out, is Nicholas Pooran. And therefore, to add to everything that's gone, I think it's very easy to repair bridges in the IPL. So what happened at in public face with Mr. Goenka and Rahul last time, I think it's one conversation that could fix that. But certain things of that conversation can't change. They can't then say you're not captain. You're not good. Possibly you're not going to be a top retained player either, or somewhere there and thereabouts. So that I can take, that they've got Nicholas Pooran, perhaps arguably the most sought after international batter if he enters the auction. Might
Yeah,
be
yeah.
He'll
20
break.
crore player.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, he'll be the
definitely see
highest
him
player.
as one of the 20 crore players. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be the highest
Overseas,
paid
yeah.
player. If he's in the auction, he's the highest paid, no doubt.
But if you were LSG, would you do everything? I'm going to say
They're
this.
trying to do
I would.
everything. I think
Yeah,
they're
but
trying to do
I would name
everything.
him captain. I would name him captain, and I would stick to whatever it is, because I
But
think
why are you so in love with KL Rahul, Ronak? I
I'm
don't
not.
get it.
What?
I mean, why
do you hate? Why do you hate him so much, Dustin?
I'm not. I don't hate him, but like
I don't love him.
Life
I mean,
is not about
I just
strike
gave you a
rates,
stat
Dustin.
that, but he hasn't won his team matches either.
Yeah, but you're not going to
He's played
get
one
Suryakumar
playoff
Yadav
game
in
in his
place
whole
of him,
career.
right? You're not getting.
I mean, you will
Suryakumar.
get even Prabh Simran Singh is a better opener than him. He is, but I mean, I know KL Rahul's a big brand, but this is just a fact when you look at numbers.
So this is you think a lot like the Punjab Kings management, I've realized, because they let go
Correct.
KL Rahul, but they've kept Prabh Simran Singh.
Prabh-
Look, I'm just having a joke.
Guys,
Prabh's a
you're
fine
not
player.
talking. Let's talk about another factor, which is a factor, and it's not like it's more than gossip. It's a factor. RCB.
Yes, and
There is
point out
the
RCB stirred the pot a little bit. Sorry, Naga. When
yes,
they tweeted Bangalore boys. When
yes.
KL
Did you
Rahul
see that?
to the
And that too
Chennai.
in Kannada, in Kannada, I think, right? They
Yes.
said those yeah, Kohli and Rahul batting in the nets at Chinnaswamy this week, and they cryptically put that, or rather, they're
And
trying
when
to
they
play
tweeted it
mischief.
in Kannada, you knew only KL can understand that tweet, but Kohli couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and there is some truth to that RCB are thinking of probably why not KL, and KL might be thinking, "Okay, fine, but the only thing, if KL decides to go to RCB, he is not going to get the money that LSG are offering him. I would think, because it has to come at an auction, unless of course, yeah. And then there is also that
Of course,
RTM card business.
the minute you go into the auction, could be helter-skelter. He may not end up either being an opener, being captain, being, even a viable,
Yeah.
not even end up
In
going
the
to a
11.
franchise. He was. I'm fully willing to say that maybe he doesn't want to go back to Punjab. He's had his time there. He doesn't want to go back. But this becomes a possibility if he goes into the auction.
Just one final point I want to make, for the listeners, is that the 75 crore pot can be sliced in any which way.
Yes.
And so what KL and Pooran get paid, they might get paid equal also, to keep both happy, because Pooran is also a big name player. He will also, and if to satisfy both egos, if KL agrees to those terms set by them. So that's the bit, I think, which needs to be sorted, and they are getting sorted this week.
Rahul basically has two very distinct problems. Obviously, wherever he goes, he wants the captaincy. Yeah, obviously he has to talk to LSG, and then if they're going to make Pooran captain, would you step down having been IPL captain for 5 years running, 4 years running, whatever it is? Would you do it? I doubt it. And the other thing is, if he's talking to RCB, I'm hearing something else, that he might not get RCB captaincy also, because someone else wants to become RCB captain.
Yeah, RCB, you won't get the captaincy.
And we don't need to
chance.
sugarcoat. We've already done
Yeah.
a full run order last month on Kohli wanting to be captain, or Kohli possibly being captain again. So but anyway, right. And he's not going to displace Kohli as captain, one would assume.
So that's the problem. That's the weird catch-22 situation he's in. Either he stays at Lucknow and stays at Lucknow, maybe as captain or maybe not, or go to RCB and then be a vice captain and eventually hope to take over a couple of years later. Nobody knows.
Okay. And let's just end this with a question we usually ask on this evolving concept that we would like to call a show. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that KL Rahul will enter the auction this time? I want to start with Dustin Salgado, who's the last man who will be sending Christmas cards to KL Rahul. Yes, Dustin.
I'll say 9.
9 that he'll enter the auction for whatever reasons, franchise or at the player's behest. You think he's going to enter the auction, right? Naga.
My answer was 5. Stick to that.
5, okay. But that's Naga's quite a conservative for the viewers who don't know him well. So if he's saying 5, that's very high probability, is what I would like to say. Yeah. Adi.
7 or 8, maybe 7.5. I'll stick to
Yeah,
7.
all right. Now, I'm just putting a spanner in this here that I'm with you guys with this being, we're almost certain to see KL Rahul going to the auction, assuming Nicholas Pooran has accepted a top retention, captaincy, and everything else. However, should from this day of recording, which is 2 weeks to retention day, to the end, should something change in Nicholas Pooran's priority list, then I see KL Rahul, for the reasons discussed, staying on at LSG 1 more year. So otherwise, it's going to be one of Rahul and Pooran, not both. That's how I'll put it. And that wraps up this edition of Retention Chatter.